What's up, OBB fam? It is Toast. And when it came to their tagline, the Ed Morse Automotive Group could have said anything, but they went with backed by Morse. They want their customers to know that when they buy from Ed Morse, they are backed by Ed Morse. And right now, during the Get Backed event, every vehicle is on sale and backed by Morse. New vehicles are backed by Morse with price protection promises. All used vehicles are on sale and backed by Morse with thorough inspections and warranties. Even your service is backed by Morse with the price match guarantee. Shop hundreds of new, used, and certified pre-owned vehicles, all the best makes and models, all on sale, and all backed by Morse. Ed Morse even has your back with low finance rates on all your favorite vehicles, and you already know their lower finance rates mean lower monthly car payments. So make this the year you get backed by Morse. Shop an amazing selection of vehicles with unbeatable deals, all backed by Morse. Find a location nearest you and go to edmorse.com today. But remember, you're only backed by Morse when you buy from Morse.
The OBBs are very proud to welcome LifeWallet to our family in 2022. This revolutionary technology is changing the game in the medical field. The LifeWallet app locates and structures your medical records in one secure location, so you can access them easily and efficiently. Currently, your medical records are inconveniently stored by healthcare providers across multiple platforms. The hurdle we as consumers face with the current structure is that these systems do not interconnect. The solution? LifeWallet facilitates the interconnectivity of your entire medical history, from birth to present day. Download the app today at either the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. LifeWallet. The time is now.
One thing the OBB fam adores is a quality beer. No one better to get it from than South Florida's own The Tank Brewing. Located at 5100 Northwest 72nd Avenue in Miami, they've got 25,000 square feet of liquid innovation happening, 16 taps, and a great kitchen. If you can't get down to the brewery for a pint or a tour, you can find their product on the shelves of your local Publix or Total Wine. So go grab a six-pack of Loca or La Playita or Frank the Tank and pop one open as you listen to an episode of the Orange Bowl Boys. The Tank Brewing, the official bar of the OBB.
Coming to you from the middle of Canes country, you're listening to the #1 rated football podcast in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, la.
These are the Orange Bowl Boys.
Brought to you by Ed Morse. Join the 1.75 million people that have been backed by Morse. With the price protection promise, Ed Morse will match any competitor's price or refund you up to $7,500.
Here's Toast, Roman, and Scoop.
Welcome to the Mario era, Chapter 16.
Yes, he says. Yes, he says. Yes, he says.
I like the last one, very Michael Buffrey of you.
Not too bad. I can do that.
Yeah.
I should have been an announcer.
What is up, boys and girls? So this is going to be interesting. So it's just me and Scoop, but on the video portion of this, you'll be seeing an empty chair where literally Roe was 2 minutes ago.
We started.
Mm-hmm.
Beep. And he's like, I'll be back soon. It's a car accident.
Yeah.
I'll be back soon.
Yeah.
And off
So
he went
hopefully,
into the wild yonder, the Wild West yonders.
So
He did just
that person
text
is
us
okay. Yeah,
from
what did he say?
wherever.
Oh, did
He just texted and said, I'll be back soon. It's probably going to get canceled.
Okay.
Don't know what that means on the other end of things, but maybe he shows up. He left his camera on so you can see where Roe was. See him?
I see where he was.
Yeah.
I'll say this. So
I
I'm
think that's
guessing
his
if it
bed.
gets
Nice lamp.
canceled, I would think that would be good for the person on the other end because they didn't need him to show up.
Correct. I would think so. Either that or bad.
Or, well, yeah, you had to go bad.
And no reason for him to show up.
Right.
I mean, there's two ways to look at it. Well, I mean,
two ways to look at it.
There's two ways to look at it. It's good or bad.
Yeah.
It's probably finite one way or the other.
I don't know how he does it all the time.
I would imagine you're just numb to it. right?
You have to be. You have to be. Yeah.
You just it's a job. I mean, you realize what's on the line and you go.
And you go.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see at what point he pops back into this episode 16. Plenty of stuff to cover today, Scoop. We got a huge baseball series this weekend at the Light. We'll give some final thoughts on the Final Four. We'll always have 5 questions, as always, to wrap things up. But first, I know we got a special announcement. Don't we?
Am I missing something?
Are we making an announcement tonight?
No.
Okay, we're not.
No. What's the announcement?
That we have. Okay, I thought we were. I had that we're making an announcement tonight.
Oh, you did?
We were going to announce. I thought we were going to announce a segment.
Oh, do we want to do that tonight?
I thought we were announcing that next week that person was going to, or are we just going to do that as a surprise?
That's a good idea. I was going to drop it as a surprise on Monday.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So always good when we talk about these things before we hit record. I was under the impression
no.
Yeah.
The best part about this is that we don't talk about this stuff before we hit record. Because then we would all be in the know and it would be boring as hell.
Do we want a surprise, or do we want to say who is going to be on next week?
You know what? I'm going to defer. We're going to circle back to that.
Okay.
I'm going to defer that question until Ro gets back. If he shows back up, we'll ask him what he thinks.
That works.
Because my plan was to drop it on Monday, announce the segment. Woo-wee! Segment. I already have some graphics put together. We are on top of this nonsense. Yeah.
I know.
So let's ask Ro when he comes back.
Okay. We will circle back to that. We can do
That's
that.
fair.
Before we get
fair.
into Green Tree, to start recording this episode, last night, we were listening to the Jimmy Johnson space with DBC and with Gio and with the Ruiz family and with Stock and Bond guy. And listened to that for about a half hour, and it was great. Jimmy was in great spirits. I will say this, Ricky. DBC, Stock and Bond guy does his phenomenal introduction, and DBC comes right, and his first question to Jimmy is, talk to us about the relationship between you and Jerry Jones. I mean, he prefaced it by saying, you guys are with each other in Arkansas, and
Oh my God.
but I'm like, oh my God, it was hilarious. I was like, you go DBC.
What was the
Does not-
answer?
Yeah. It was a very diplomatic answer
Of
by
course,
JJ.
of
Of course.
yes.
Listen, JJ's fishing at the Keys every day. He's living the life. He's not getting stressed. He's going to speak kindly of everybody at this point. He doesn't want to start shit.
No.
Come on.
We'll have him. I would go out on a limb because I'm pretty confident in our capabilities that we'll have him on at some point. And we'll ask him some questions that maybe he, maybe we can get him to stir the pot a little bit.
Cool moment. He was surprised with Melvin Bratton showed up in the space.
Oh,
And
that's
that was
awesome.
That was great. So
That's awesome.
Good stuff. Yeah. Now I know that they were recording it. I don't know where you're going to be able to hear all of it. I think you might hear excerpts of it here and there on other podcasts or whatever, but I'm not sure. So we'll see. But he did say he was recording it. So
Okay, good.
all right. We got plenty. We got a lot of stuff to cover for down at Green Tree.
Oh, you sent a
Unless there's other
sheet,
stuff.
didn't you?
I
Hold on.
don't know why.
Yesterday.
Yes.
You sent
Last
it
night.
yesterday.
So you would basically have like a solid.
God, I've
like
had
18
20 hours. I literally have had 18 hours to print this. I've got other things that I do.
I know you do. We all
But
do.
my
We all
God.
do.
My God.
It is uncanny how you never look
No,
at
no,
the
no.
sheet.
That's not never. No.
It's
no.
90%.
No.
Oh, yes.
Wow, there's a lot of stuff on here.
I'm saying.
Even 5 questions. Oh, man. I might need to take a row break and review these so I can have some answers.
Yeah,
for
there's
them.
some stuff. There's some stuff going on here.
Holy mackerel. All right, well, okay, where are we at? Were we out on
gonna,
this?
unless you
Special announcement. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That didn't happen.
No. Yeah, there's a lot of
But
stuff.
we'll circle back to that.
I think the next thing is Green Tree.
Well, unless there's something else that you wanted to discuss before we get down there. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff to hit in green. I got audio from Mario from the scrimmage talking about a whole bunch of stuff.
That stuff.
So we got
You
plenty
put those
of stuff
videos
that we
out?
can-
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
You know,
That's
these
refreshing.
are the things you got to do when you're launching the legend.
Yeah, speaking of the legend, another long meeting yesterday.
Oh my God!
And then
it
we'll
was
have
90 minutes.
and then I'm going to have a one-on-one on Friday.
Okay.
And we're dialing this thing in, and it is going to be it's going to be a monster, man. It's going to be a true staple. Let's say that.
Yep.
It is going to end up being a true staple for interactive Canes sports. And I am proud to be a founder of it. It's going to be awesome. Awesome.
There was a moment yesterday at the start of our web meeting where we had to pause the start because I got a phone call. We've had issues with the accounting firm that we had been using in terms of their lack of response to things. And so they finally called me back just as our meeting started. So I had to pause our web meeting to take this phone call and basically, in essence, let our accountant know that we were going to be moving on to a different accountant.
Oh, yeah.
And I did so. I thought the microphone to the Zoom was muted.
Oh.
But Ro and Wes and I think possibly Gio, I heard the whole thing with the accountant yesterday, Ro. Yeah.
No. In your defense, we only heard about the last 5 minutes, but it was like riveting stuff. It was like the passive aggressiveness and the tone of your voice, while maintaining professionalism, I was very impressive. I was very impressed by you. I mean, you basically told him to fuck off without telling him to fuck off.
Wow.
It was well done.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Good. Well, welcome back to you.
Yeah.
He got canceled, and he got cancel cultured, and they put him back in the box here.
Well, so now we got to know, Ro, because we were debating this. Was this a cancel because it was a good thing because the person doesn't need you, or a bad thing because
The person
it's pointless
doesn't
for you
need
to
you.
show up? Yeah.
They could have handled that without me.
Okay.
And it just sounded worse than it was, and we assessed real quick, and we move on.
Beautiful.
Not everything is bullets and bulldozers. Sometimes it's butterflies and
rainbows and unicorns and puppies. We love puppies.
And puppies.
We also had another debate while you were gone.
Okay,
Yes.
talk to me.
Toast thought that I was going to announce our new special segment.
Well, did you look at the show sheet, Ro?
First question I have: are we recording? Did I come
Yes,
back
we are
to the-
recording. Yes, we are. Yeah, we are hot right now. Yeah.
I came in dropping F-bombs. I thought this was off. All right, here we go. So, yes, I did look at the show sheet. I have a pre-knowledge of what's going to happen with 5 questions. Yes, I did
Okay.
see.
I don't, because
Scoop
I didn't
didn't.
look
Okay.
at it. I completely forgot that we had it.
He doesn't 95% of the time.
But I appreciate you doing it, though. I do, because it's a nice.
I know you
It
do.
looks very nice on my phone right now. I'm looking at it. But the question was, I thought we were dropping the announcement next week with a special drop, and Toast thought we were announcing it on the show. So the deciding factor is to you: do I announce it tonight on the show, or do I surprise drop it next Monday for an announcement?
I say we see how the show goes, and then we'll decide later.
I mean, if you
know what that
if you
means.
didn't,
How do you keep a moron in suspense?
I couldn't care less. It was my idea to let you have your say in it.
I thought
Otherwise,
you know
I
what?
would've just,
I legitimately thought you were going to announce that tonight. I thought so too.
All right, maybe later.
So, okay.
Okay.
Settled. Debate.
All right. Before we get to Green Tree, though, we were talking about the Jimmy Johnson space. Ro, you were in it along with me.
Fantastic.
Thoughts about that?
I mean, phenomenal. I mean, it's Jimmy Johnson. And some of the nuggets that he was dropping in there, he's one of the only individuals on this planet who's not only in the college Hall of Fame, he's in the NFL Hall of Fame, he's also in the broadcast Hall of Fame. Talk about having a Hall of Fame career, Jimmy Johnson. And just hearing him recount the stories, and Melvin Bratton's in the room too, legendary former Hurricane. And he's like, what's just even that, seeing that, listening to that, you didn't quite see it, but you could see the imagery in your head of Melvin Bratton still with this admiration and this like giddiness to talk to. He's like, hey coach. He's like, oh, hi. It's like he's being recruited, like he's coming into his living room like that. He just has so much fondness. And that's the respect Jimmy Johnson carries. It was a wonderful experience. Great job. It was Mr. Ruiz. It was Gio, host of OBB Recruiting. Vic did a great job. Danny Boy Kane, contributor for OBB Legend as well. Those guys killed it. Great job, especially getting Jimmy Johnson. Kudos. Awesome.
All right, should we head on down to Green Tree, boys?
I think we should.
Line 72.
Go! All right, so spring practice continues, and we had our first scrimmage. It was closed to the media, but they had DBJ go ahead and hook up with Mario following it, and they dropped a nice little 5-minute video. You saw some of those clips on the OBB Twitter page, but I have some of those clips now, so I thought maybe we just kind of run through all these and we can react, guys, to first, this was overall Mario talking about spring so far.
At the pace we're going, it's the next play comes in a hurry, and we're seeing some progress in terms of that, but in terms of playing with technique and fundamentals, bending at the knees, coming out of our hips, striking people and using our hands, understanding leverage, understanding our playbook, understanding how to play when it's hot and when we get tired. We've got a lot of work to do. We do, and we can't come off it. We're not going to come off of that. And it all ties into just about everything you do, right? How you do anything is how you do everything. So, there's progress, but we're going to keep our foot on the gas because we have a lot of work to do.
So I think a pretty honest assessment.
Yeah, I find that to be very interesting because he played in a system and a time where most of the play clock was used on every play. And now, they're going fast pace. He mentioned it, fast pace, up tempo. That next play comes very quickly. They lose the capacity to maintain their technique in the pace of everything they're doing. So it's interesting to me. I'd be curious on his thoughts of what does it take that he didn't have to do to be able to play at that pace, because he didn't have to do that. So he's asking these kids to do that. He's used to something different. Obviously, he's coached it, but I'd be curious on his take as to if he were still a player, if he were a player today, how does that differ from when he went through it?
That's an interesting thought process there.
Really
I
is.
just heard the man talk, not Scoop, you're a man too, and you did talk. I heard Mario, and I forgot. 16 de Mario, 16. I wasn't here for that. Okay, Mario. I just find it fascinating. Two things stuck out to me during that clip. One, the offensive line coach in him, right? He's talking about hitting hands, getting low in your hips, and that's all offensive line technique, and I think it's brilliant because Miami has suffered in the trenches, in particular at the offensive line for decades, and I think this is the coach to fix it. And I'm happy to hear Gaddis and the tempo is good because here's an equalizer. Yeah, Mario and Scoop alluded to it. You have issues with technique as you're going at that tempo and the heat, and these guys are getting tired. But when they get used to it and it clicks, and it will, guess who's going to be at a disadvantage? every team we play in August, September, and October, because that's why we wanted that tempo offense. And I'm glad to hear that it's continuing at a pace that right now is hurting our guys.
All right, well, now hang on a second, because I'm sure they're not running things any faster than Lashley was running things, because it was all about crazy amount, like running 75 plays with Lashley back then. So, and you talk about the speed and everything early in the season. That's great, Ro, but it hasn't panned out the first 2 years of running everything at pace. So how is this pace with Mario going to be different? I mean, they should be used to running plays fast because they've been doing it for 2 years, all these kids. So what is so different that's going to make it so much different on the field?
Lashley's offense was one of the most simplistic offenses you could ever find.
I get it, but it was still being run at pace. Lots of plays moving fast.
That's fine. That offense at pace and Gaddis's offense at pace, two entirely different worlds. Because Gaddis has multiple formations, where Lashley had 3. Let's be realistic, right? I mean, it's maybe 4. But it couldn't have been more simple. So now you have an offense that is complicated at pace. It's an entirely different animal. So when that complicated offense at pace becomes more fluid, more concrete, more experience with all the players and being able to keep the technique, run the plays properly with that pace, now you really have an advantage, because you have to recognize what's going on, and you don't have any time to recognize what's going on when they're changing everything up that quickly.
Toast, it's like this. Lashley was like playing really fast up-tempo checkers. Gaddis, it's like really fast naked twister. There's a lot going on to it. There's a lot more formation.
Significant difference there, Ro.
Yeah,
There's a lot of difference between those two games.
Yeah. It's a lot more complicated where you're like, left hand goes where? Right foot goes where? Where? Now what ended up where? Yeah.
Why is your hand in between those two pillows? Those aren't pillows.
Yeah. Oops. There's just a lot more moving parts to this Gaddis offense. It's gonna take a little time, but the deficiency along the offensive line that's still the same. But there's a breakdown, and Mario's alluding to it, and I don't think he's happy because of the tempo, and they're getting fatigued. That's the last thing you want to hear from your offensive line former predecessor coach, now head coach, that you're having a breakdown in technique because of fatigue. Because guess what's going to happen? They're going to work on that, and there's only one way to get the fatigue factor away, and that's you're going to run your ass off. So good luck, boys.
I'll tell you what, he actually spoke about the offensive line in particular, so why don't we just go ahead and roll with that one right now.
We ran the ball well today. We started off really well. Team run play action, we took a dip. And you felt like there were some things there, like we couldn't get past it and we couldn't get out of our own way. And that was upsetting. I got to be honest with you. That set me off, and rightfully so. The enemy's in the other locker room, and we should be finding ways to encourage each other and push each other. And then we did. Then we got over that hump. And then we went down there and scored, but I had the official throw a flag and back them up 14 yards just to see what the response would be, right? Is it going to be a hands up, oh man, that's BS, or is it going to be let's roll, let's find a way in? We got to build our minds to the point where it doesn't matter what the previous play brought. There's no bad play, no injury, no circumstance that we can't overcome. We got to get there mentally, right? Because once we do that, then our identity will follow, all right? So, but there is progress, and really excited about that.
But that was my favorite comment of what he said in that post-game thing with DBJ. I love the fact that he flew through the flag when they were all happy because they finally, got it into the end zone. No. Let's see how you react to this.
Yeah, like the psychological warfare.
I love it.
Just side note, sidebar. How come when I'm listening to DBJ, I picture him like half naked, like laying sideways on a bed in his underwear? Bro. Like how come that vision never gets out of my head?
There was a moment when we hired Mark Richt, and he did the initial thing with Mark. And obviously, he played with Mark. And there was a moment where he was looking at Mark with these gazing eyes, like, like a puppy looks at its owner. And I swear to God, he's standing 3 feet in front of Mario, and he's just the glow. He's in love.
Well, Mark made sense because he was his former center. So they had a close connection there. I don't know. Mario's on the offensive line too. I mean,
it's like he's consoling Mario, and rightfully so. Like, it's a what?
that part I caught it.
What are you talking about? It set him off.
He's
Yeah,
chill, man.
fuck yeah, it set you off. Rightfully so, Mario. I'm so sorry for your temperament.
DBJ is chill.
Yeah,
DBJ is chill. You got to be chill when you grew up with your dad naked on the back of buildings and trucks.
Yeah.
We talked about this before. Right. We went through his the most sugar coating positive. He was the problem, right? Wasn't he the problem? Wasn't that the whole bit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was a funny bit back then, if I remember what it was.
All right, he talked about TVD.
I say with Tyler, I still think he's going to be, if not the best, one of the best in the country. You never want to proclaim being the best, right? You want to go earn it. But he's everything that you heard, through the media and whatnot. Just an incredibly intelligent, diligent young man who understands football, hard worker, great teammate, a gamer, right? When the lights are on, and when everything is just coming at 100 miles per hour. Tremendous ability with his competitive response. He understands where to put the ball, how to put it there, the importance of knowing your protection, who's in, who's out, when you're outnumbered, when you got to get rid of it quickly, leverage runs, putting us in an advantage play. It's like having a coordinator on the field,
Praise, baby. Nothing but praise for our guy.
And Mario doesn't strike me as a guy that's willing to give praise. This isn't like Catholic Church where it's right to give praise. Everybody praise. He is not that guy. Mario is not that. That seems like it's hard coming out of Mario's mouth. Like, you have to earn that. Like, yep, it's like having another coordinator on the field, damn it. Like, that's hard.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I mean, it's like, how do you become the player who gets that type of accolade from that guy publicly? I mean, you have to be so far and away. But he said he's everything that you heard, meaning everything I heard. He watched film, right? But then he gets here and he's like, wow, look what I inherited. This is my golden ticket. TVD is my golden ticket.
At Oregon.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
We know this.
And what's glaringly absent, right? Every new coach, anytime I've ever heard a new coach come in, for the most part, we have a quarterback competition brewing. Always.
But it's because you don't.
Because you don't have one.
There is not
one. There's I mean, there's a nice one happening, I think, between Jake and Jakari. Right. But I mean, there isn't any. There's nothing for QB1.
Isn't that refreshing though?
It's in stone. Yeah.
You've got your guy, and you know that he's the guy because he's an elite level quarterback at this level. And play for the second position, please. Play for the backup. That's where the competition is. You're right, Ro. Not mentioned, won't be mentioned, because that's not in play.
I don't know if it was this comment or the previous comment, but it was like, there's no injury we can overcome. I'm not even going to say it, but don't jinx us, Mario. Don't jinx us.
Well, he did talk about the rest of the quarterback room, so let's give those boys. He did have nice things to say.
Jake has come around really, really well also. We feel we have a great quarterback room. Jake has made some unbelievable plays out here, in the time that he's had out here playing with the guys. And we've gotten a lot of rest, a lot of other guys. Peyton has gotten out there. Ja'Cory's done a great job. Our room has just gotten better and better and better, and we feel very strongly about it.
Ja'Cory's back.
There you go. Yeah.
He was a great interview, too. Wait, are we sure it's the same guy here?
Who? 12? 12's back?
Well, now that's a different pronunciation.
That's totally
He
different.
didn't go.
Oh, no, we got-
so
he
that's
didn't
the-
go
that's
to-
the third.
he didn't go
That's
all
the
scoop
third
on us.
pronunciation now.
He's
didn't
gone
go
a different
toast and
direction.
scoop. Yeah, he's gone Mario.
He got done with that interview.
Created a new lane for himself.
Somebody probably corrected
You
him.
got the scoop fuck up,
Somebody probably corrected him.
and you got the Mario
Like,
fuck
wait a
up.
second, didn't we have a Ja'Cory here? Yeah.
Yeah,
We did.
totally.
He listens to the Orange Bowl boys, too. That just confirmed it.
Oh man.
I have heard some great things about Ja'Cory, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we all
Not-
have.
not
We all
surprising.
saw that dime he dropped to X in the video that was circulating around.
So I got a question before we move on from this because that kind of just like spirited it. Manny Diaz used to listen to the Orange Bowl boys on his long runs. Mario just confirmed that he listens to the Orange Bowl boys because he was thinking Ja'Cory Harris, who we just had on the show. What does Mario do when he listens to us? What is he doing?
I gotta be honest.
He's driving to the Hecht at 4:30 on Thursdays.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's why we drop it at 4, specifically for him.
I concur.
We know every time he wakes up, we've
We
got
had
the
back channel
insight.
communications.
That's right. That's right.
We got one more clip. He
Good.
talked
I
about
like
the
these.
overall. So it was the first scrimmage, and he talked about who won, offense or defense.
Defense, give us an overall assessment of them as well.
Physical, the day went to them today.
Okay.
They did. They came out with a lot of juice. The offense scored a couple times and pounded it out a little bit, but the defense, they forced a lot of 3 and outs. They brought pressure. They really made it difficult for the quarterback to get comfortable. They created some negative plays in the early down and distance situations. Then they had some moments where the offense went down, marched down methodically and scored. Got a couple of big plays as well. But overall, if you had to add it up, the scorecard shows the defense did win the day.
So great that the defense. Congrats to them on winning the day. My big takeaway from that clip was that the offensive line's got issues. Like in some series, they're still getting dominated.
Couple of 3
When he
and
talks
outs.
about behind the line of scrimmage and like those are just the red flags. You're like, oh, yeah.
I don't know, but Mario did say there were some times where we ran it well. We kind of dominated.
Yeah, no, he did. He's going to give him a little bit, but
You want the defense ahead at this point, right? I've seen this episode where the offense was way ahead, and this was the D'Onofrio years. It's like, wow, we were great on offense today. We were great the next day, too. Man, I got all the time in the world back here, right? So I'd rather I had this interesting lunch today with a buddy of mine. We're avid Hurricane fans. He actually played for the University of Miami. And I said, I like Steele because I like his age. I love an older defensive coordinator. They're like he's our war daddy. He's seen it all, and I love a young, innovative offensive mind. So you see all these NFL proteges like, look, the Dolphins just got a guy that's like 22 years old. I mean, look at him. Look at the guy. So, but Steele has seen everything. So you're not going to like sneak up on him in a spring practice. I hope he's ahead early because I mean, this guy was going against Joe Burrow in like 2 seasons ago, facing that thing. There's nothing Gaddis is showing him that he hasn't seen before. I'm okay with the defense being ahead early. That's just me.
well, does that also
You want it that way.
does that also scoop to the complexity of this new offense?
Yeah, I mean, are they a little bit behind? You'd hope they'd be a little bit behind. Again, it just goes back to what Rose said. You want the defense, especially with an install of a brand new offense. That defense better be ahead, realistically, because if you've got an install that's 5 weeks in and the install is beating your defense's ass, your defense is probably not very good. I mean, because offense isn't clicking on all cylinders, not even close. You've got TVD and you've got some very good receivers, and obviously their timing is very good, and the running game seems to be good. But I kind of go back to the offensive line being an issue. Now, I think we're down a couple guys currently, right?
Campbell's not there.
And Clark, I don't think is playing either. I might be wrong, but I don't think Jakai's playing. But our defensive line is not stellar. And if they're creating havoc It kind of points to the offensive line for me. I don't think they should be very far behind in the install. I think it's more of the complexity of the playmakers, so to speak. But yeah, good defense win. The defense. I hope they win next week in the spring game too. To be honest with you.
Hey, one thing I want to give a little bit of a pass to the offense too. I think the pieces on the defensive side of the chessboard are a little bit more fixated. We kind of know who their safeties are. We know who their corners are. For the most part, we know who their linebackers are, the defensive line. Mario's an offensive line guy. I'm sure he's kind of messing with the front five, so that's going to lead to some continuity issues. You don't necessarily have your two running backs, right? Your 1A and 1B from last year. They're still struggling with some injuries, so that's going to help. You're trying to shuffle the wide receiver board to see who's coming in, who's coming out. Tight end 1 is out. I don't want to give them a full pass, but they have a lot more moving parts on that side. So I'd like to see it when they actually have what they have, a couple weeks of install in their belt. I think you're going to see more what this offense is going to be come summer 2, right? Come fall camp. I think it's going to get to where it needs to get to. There's just too many moving parts.
They're certainly short.
They're short. There's too many moving parts, and there's too many new words, verbiage, things that they're adjusting to on the fly.
Well, the whole language is different.
They got to play a step slower than the defensive side of the ball.
They're talking about the wide receivers. So you had Harley has picked Jacoby to be wide receiver 1, while Rambo has challenged X to break his newly, first year in season receptions record. So my question to you guys is, only one of these can happen. Which would you choose?
I just think it's funny that the slot guy picked the X guy and the X guy picked the slot guy.
Yeah.
So they obviously believe in the other more than themselves.
So did Rambo save for number of receptions or for yardage? For X.
I thought it was season receptions. Isn't that what his record is?
No, I think it's yardage.
Overall yardage.
His record last year was yardage.
Either way.
Was it yardage? Maybe
just make it a record. Who would you rather see, or what's the question? Who would break a record?
No, what's the guess? Yes. But what's Harley's guess? Just that
Jacoby is going to be wide receiver 1,
or that X is going to break records.
That X guy, yeah, that outside, that traditional, yeah, he's going to be the new Rambo.
Yeah.
Or X
I'll be honest with you,
it's Rambo's record.
It's gonna be, and I love X. It's awfully hard. It's gonna be awfully hard for a guy on the inside to break that number. I mean, it's just it's not. It's the offense isn't necessarily designed that way. George is the dude, but is he going to play X? Is he going to play? Well, I mean, because Smith's on the outside as well. So, I mean, those are your starting 3. We've said this before.
For now, unless they make a portal move.
Yeah, but it's Key, it's Jacoby, and it's X.
And Brashard's going to get playing time.
Of course. And some of the other guys are going to get playing time too. I'm not saying that, but Jacoby has clearly far and away established himself as one of the 3. Where he plays, I don't know, but he's going to play a ton.
Well, I think it would be, we all love X, but in terms of the success of the season and the program moving forward, the best thing would be for Jacoby to set himself as wide receiver 1 and put up those sorts of numbers on the outside. That would be the best thing. Listen, in that case, X can fall, 1 yard short, but still have a phenomenal season. But yeah, I just think that would be, we haven't had that guy since Andre left, really.
I'm going to make the case, in order for X to have a really good year, he needs Jacoby to have a really good year.
Absolutely.
Because if Jacoby can't be the guy, and we've seen this, we go back a couple years ago before Charleston Rambo was here.
There's no doubles anywhere.
It's like, you just single cover the outside. You play like one guy over the top. You muddy the middle, and then nobody's getting open in the middle of the field.
No one in the middle can do anything.
A lot of the things open up when you have that dominant X receiver. So I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm going to go back to X on that because for Jacoby to do what Jacoby's going to do, and obviously frees it up for X. I think X is special. It takes both. It legitimately takes both of them to have successful seasons.
Other news that broke: we are in the process of, I guess we're going to build the greatest facility in all of college football. We're taking over the track, that useful little piece of land right there, and just going to make the Taj Mahal of college football.
Awesome.
Centers. Yeah, facilities.
I can't wait to see the renderings.
Where the hell are we?
This is another benefit.
The Mario era.
This is another benefit of Mario and Radakovich, who oversaw like the building of the slide, right? The Clemson slide. They have a football-only facility that had a slide in it, and everybody, I don't know, is this Disney World or is this a football-only facility? But Mario came from like Taj Mecca Hall. Like he came from Oregon. There's Phil Knight money.
He was at Alabama before that, which is a gorgeous facility.
So he's like, listen, he's a smart guy, and he needs to recruit, right? The best thing you could give a recruiter is no deficiencies. Listen, you're going to hire me. I don't want to go on the road losing a kid to Oregon or Alabama because they have nicer facilities. We need nicer facilities. Okay, Mario, you got it. Good job, Wolf. Hey, I don't want to lose a kid because I don't have the staff that Alabama has. Okay, what do you need? By the way, I put this as a tweet. I didn't even lie about this. The other day, I was just scrolling through my timeline, and I saw Charlie Strong, and I'm like, oh, shit, that's right. He's on the staff. I totally forgot Charlie Strong was a coach for Miami. I was like, this guy was on the Jacksonville Jaguars, was head coach in Texas. I'm so used to seeing Jason Taylor, who's not even really like an on-the-field coach. I forgot. Oh, that guy. I would have took that guy as a DC last year, you know. But Mario made sure that he wasn't going to have holes on the recruiting front. So this man, what fun times. It really is. Where are we, Toast? I have no clue. We woke up and here we are.
Listen, obviously this facility, along with the staff, this is all stuff that was promised back in December when they were talking, and we're now all just learning, oh yeah, it's all happening now but this is the stuff they had to agree to before he agreed to put his name to paper. All of this stuff was hashed out back, around Christmas. No doubt about it. The scope of what a facility would look like, how in terms of budget, and just all that stuff was laid out. All of it was laid out.
Apparently,
and all those funds were secured.
This one's going up, so it's like a.
Yeah, well, you can't go. You have to go up. You got to go vertical. Yeah. There's nowhere else to go. You can't go horizontal anymore, man. So yeah, this thing could be like a 10-story just mecca.
I looked at this next part on the show sheet. I looked at the show sheet. I want to let you know that.
Congratulations.
And I looked at the next part of it, and it references a former quarterback we had here, and it made me think. Remember when we put out that tweet questioning whether or not they should look at TBD to start over De'Aaron King? And
yeah.
The rafters came
down.
Oh,
yeah, it was worse than than a Cosi hive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, that was nuts. Anyway, I just brought that back up. Yeah, I see that he is moving up some draft boards.
He is, De'Aaron King, yeah.
And but as a quarterback or receiver?
I think so. Here's my I believe it's kind of is both. Listen, as that, and we all know that all these offensive coordinators like to have that weapon. That guy they can throw in there and do different weird things with. You can pitch him the ball. He can throw. He can throw it from. He's fast. So I think it's like that Swiss Army knife. I can have all these different mismatches if I get him on the field. But then probably he won't even get on the field. It happens every year. These guys try to get that guy, and we'll see. Maybe, but he is going. He is rising up draft boards if you believe what all the insiders are saying.
Good for him.
Phenomenal.
Good.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal human being.
Yep.
Young man, ambassador for the program. I wish him all the success and happiness in the world. He deserves it. He really does.
Made reference earlier, guys, when we were playing those Mario clips about the row you did about the defensive line and the fact that there's not a lot of depth there, but got some big transfers coming in. And one transfer that I kind of feel is odd, But we got defensive end DJ Coleman from Jacksonville State. I don't know how he performed against FSU in that game, but he was an FCS All-American last year. He's coming in this weekend.
Performed. I know.
Yeah.
I said, you see him plant the flag?
That's exactly how he performed. He'd fit right in.
He planted it right on Doofus's face out there in the middle of the field.
Chief Okeechobee. Yeah, right in his
That
face.
guy. Right up his nostril.
The big one, though, is defensive line Akeem Messidor from West Virginia, who was just a force the last couple of years in the Big 12. Was all Big 12 as a freshman, was second team, I believe, this past year, but definitely likes playing behind the line of scrimmage.
And you know, this is the disadvantageous side of the portal. His head coach was hurt at West Virginia. He was hurt. He wasn't supposed to have a press conference. He was so hurt he held a press conference. And you can sense the hurt in his voice. Like, he's a great kid. I didn't see this coming. He was hurt. I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Went full Ed Reed.
I missed it. I missed it, but that's not a bad thing.
No.
Now, the one that's odd, we're bringing in USC.
No, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on. You mentioned these other two. Have they committed?
No, they're coming in for visits this weekend.
Visits?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
And the third one is USC kicker Parker Lewis, who, yes, very good kicker, 77%, little like I think Borgalis is at like 80-something percent, but along in 55, they say, NFL-type leg. So interesting, saying he'd be brought in to compete with Borgalis, but didn't know that. I thought that was an interesting one, that we'd be having a big-time leg come in. Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Competition.
Competition A.
Mario says competition everywhere but the quarterback room.
Competition A. Listen. Oh, man, this is going to hurt. B, I'm sitting right next to Malik Rozier. Right? It's the UVA game. This is straight up and down, row. No way he misses this.
Oh, God.
Doink! I'm sure.
I remember you told me Malik told you that. I was like,
I'm sure Mario reviewed not just the offensive line last year. Like, you're nuts if you think he watched all 13 games, what have you. Actually, we didn't play 13 games. All 12 games, what have you, and forgot to look at the kicker. I'm sure he looked at that game. That was a pivotal game in Manny Diaz's career. That you had one more. He's a 4th and 14 and that kick away from still being a coach here. I'm pretty sure
listen,
Mario looks at this as like, that kicker cost the last guy a job. So I'm going to make sure that I have some competition.
I would say, and I said it after that game, that for a few games leading up to that, his kicks were tailing off in that direction. And for some reason, the special teams coach, who is now at like Incarnate Catholic College in Texas somewhere, chose not to fix that. Chose not to address that situation, apparently, because nothing happened over those. And it finally it leaked, man, and it finally burnt them. And then after that, apparently they focused on that and it got corrected. But listen, and Borgalis's numbers across the board are better than Parker Lewis's. He's got a higher percentage. So we'll see. I still think Borgalis would win that competition if it were to occur. But I just thought it was odd or interesting to see that they are soliciting and welcoming on a visit a big-time NFL leg kicker who was at USC and did a pretty damn good job for them last year.
You could see a situation, too. I mean, I think you see it where one guy can be the place kicker, the other guy can be like the field goal kicker. Mm-hmm. So, there you go.
Sure, yeah. Got enough roster spots.
I have a feeling after spring you're going to have a whole lot more.
Yeah, that's going to be – so you guys still feeling good? I think you both picked for 10 total transfers.
We said over, under, and I think the number was over.
It was over. The total was
9.
9.
Yeah, we put it to 9.
Like that.
I'll go over because –
You still going over?
Yeah, I'll go over.
Yeah, it was over at 10, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You still happy with that over pick, Scoop?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Before we get into baseball, I saw this going around and was just curious. They were talking about the best college football rivalries, and I think they just listed the top 5, but they did not have FSU on that list. curious where you guys think our rivalry with them stands and how much has it diminished over the last number of years when we were never both relevant at the same time, it seems like over the last 15 years.
That's a great caveat, and I'm going to, when we're done having this discussion, ask me who the number one rivalry that I think now currently in college football is, because I think my answer is going to surprise you. But you're absolutely right, and I think it easily diminishes 5 spots. As heralded as that rivalry was, the state of affairs of what Miami was, never living up to their end of the bargain. Obviously, FSU coming into the ACC. Obviously, FSU won it last in 2013. And I told them, don't blink. As a Miami Hurricane fan, that thing's 10 years old already. And, man, the state of affairs. I remember, did you see the Rivals Mike clip? Remember when Rivals Mike came in when Manny still had a job and he basically called for Mario Cristobal, would be a great hire for the University of Miami? He just blasted the Florida State program. Said they had 17 guys, something like this, hit the portal. Only 2 guys ended up ending on P5 rosters. That was his case to say, this program is dead. He basically called them dead and buried. Because of the state of affairs they're in, being bowlless, what we did coming into the ACC, I mean, I'm still going to rank it top 10, where I thought it was a top 5 rivalry in football. I don't think it's top 5 anymore.
Not anymore, because the programs have been shit for the past 15 years.
Correct.
I mean, you go back 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
It's 1 or 2.
Absolutely. It's right at the top of the mountain.
I could just rattle off other ones so quickly. You got the Iron Bowl, right? Then you got Ohio State. You got Ohio State and Michigan.
Ohio State and Michigan. I think, and as surprising as that is,
Oklahoma, Texas is better.
Oklahoma, Texas is better.
Florida, Georgia is better now.
Yeah. So who's your top? Because I have a top, and I think it surprises people as well.
No, tell me your top, because I think mine's going to surprise
My
you.
top, and it is so one-sided, but I still think it's probably the best in the country for fanfare. Mm-hmm. My opinion, I think, is Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah, I mentioned
as crazy as it sounds. And it's so one-sided, and it's still such a great rivalry every year.
Mine
so much better than Miami FSU.
My top rivalry in sports, like these guys battle constantly, and it's hard to pick a winner. UCF fans and reality. That by far is the biggest college rivalry. Okay,
saying something come from a Miami fan. I'm just saying.
At least we have 5 real
championships.
A large segment of our fan base has been viewed as delusional by many other fan bases over the last 20 years.
At least we have 5 real national championships to back it
true.
up.
That's true.
And we're
Like
old enough to remember
rings.
all of them. Yeah. That's why it's not really delusional for us.
For me, top rivalry, I can't go with Ohio State and Michigan just because it's so one-sided and I don't know, they just don't. For me, it's got to be an SEC, and so right now it's got to be Bama Auburn. It's got to be the Iron Bowl.
That was in the top
because that
5.
At the end of every year, is this the game where Bama's going to get tripped up? On their quest to raise another natty, and I think that's just over the last 10 years. And I mean, you've had some phenomenal finishes in that game over the last decade. None better than the extra with the field goal return for touchdown. Yeah, it was just so.
And
the fact that Auburn's gone through so many coaches just churned them out during that same time while it's just been Saban.
So the Iron Bowl, Ohio State, Michigan. Sorry, Armed Forces, we left you off, but you should have been in the top 3 all along. Army versus Navy. That is a better rivalry than Miami, Florida State these days.
Always, yeah.
The Red River rivalry between Oklahoma and Texas has been more meaningful over the last couple of years as well. There's a lot of good rivalries. Like I said, the largest outdoor cocktail party in the whole world. That's probably a better rivalry these days as well.
I think the best thing Army Navy has going for is that it's on that weekend after everything else. It's the only
brilliant.
game. Everything else is finished.
That's right.
It's your last football game. It's like, fuck yeah, I'm going to watch this.
Absolutely. Everybody watches.
That's like Paul Johnson porn right there. Right. Paul Johnson's like, he locks himself behind doors and gets like.
I watch it every year.
Yeah, absolutely. All their uniforms, and it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, they come out with great uniforms, too. Speaking of which, is Mario going to be the guy? I know the turnover chain went away. R.I.P. Rip turnover chain. You're not even seeing it in, like, the pictures anymore. Is Mario going to be, like, a, multi-uniform guy? I mean, because he was a Miami Hurricane, so he's got that traditional feel of playing for the University of Miami. But he came from Oregon. He was obviously okay with it because he wore a different uniform combination every day. Which way is Mario going to go here? I'm curious.
Traditional.
Traditional?
I think traditional.
That's boring, man.
I think you'll see some uniforms, but not. I think he will keep things.
Oh, I'm not saying like go to the level that Oregon. I mean, they come out with a different uniform combination. I don't even know what their home uniform is. I don't even know. I know what ours is. I don't even know if they have one. That's how many uniform combinations they have. But I didn't like the Mark Richt approach either. It was like 2 uniforms the whole season. It was terrible. Well, he did do Miami Nights once in a while, but I don't like.
So if you're an equipment guy, is your dream job
Oregon?
Oregon?
I think so.
Because, well, here's the question. Are they getting paid? Are they being compensated for the, because that's a lot of additional work.
Mm-hmm.
Are they being compensated for that? Or are they being paid the same as equipment guys throughout the country who have 4 or 5 uniforms a year? Because then they're being, overworked.
Yeah, but amongst
I bet they're being paid the same, but they have a bigger staff at Oregon. I bet there's more assistant.
I'm on Toast's side here
equipment
saying
guys.
that they get paid the same, but amongst the
people.
Equipment fraternity, when they go to like conventions,
Yeah.
like they whip it out. They talk shit. Like, that's all? You're at Alabama, right? You only have 2 uniforms? Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. We got 32 this first half.
I was going to say, for Saturday.
Right.
I do like it, though. I do like it. But I do believe I'm a traditionalist in a sense. I believe in Miami lore. I believe in Miami history 1,000%. But this is Miami. This is one of the epicenters of cool and fashion in the whole entire world. I think sometimes it's okay to let the kids drip saucy.
I agree, but if they're going to do it, do it.
The Miami Ice uniforms,
like
Miami
change
Neons,
it.
like something.
Yeah,
just go after it.
do that. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to change it, have the U, but just
don't do the recycled ocean trash uniform.
No, like for what?
It sucked.
That's not doing it. That's just trying to be somewhat creative. If you're going to make different uniforms, have the Oregon template and just go out of the box. Be crazy, like you said. Have the Miami Nights with the neon stuff, Miami across in the script. I mean, come on.
I got a pitch for one. Hear me out. Take ibis wings, right?
Yeah.
And you put them on the shoulders.
Uh-huh.
We'll even make an ibis egg color theme. And on the back of our helmets, it just says thanks.
No. All right. You know what?
Thanks,
I was thinking
Oregon.
about it until you.
Thanks,
about
Oregon.
it until you.
Thanks
brought
for
up
Mario.
Ibis wings. No,
This is our
You know what?
tribute to you uniform. Thanks.
No. You know what? Miami doesn't need gimmicks. Oregon needs gimmicks.
Oh,
we win
God,
rings.
here we go.
No, we
Oh my
don't.
God!
Here
Just
we
stop.
go.
Just stop.
We haven't
Stop
run a
with this
ring in
nonsense.
so long.
And neither have they. We're not Oregon. No, let them do the crazy uniform thing.
No. Put
Stop.
the U
No.
on the back of the helmet.
Yes.
Just
Oh
like they
my
put
God.
the O on the back.
That would be cool.
Put the U on the back.
Why can't you put the U on the back, Toast? Get off
You don't
my
want it
lawn.
on the side?
Get off my
Wings
lawn.
on the wings on the
No,
side
because
and the
Oregon's
U
got
on the back.
wings. We're not the Eagles. They already got wings on their teams.
Well, we got.
You gotta do
How about a
something
whole
original.
Sebastian? How about just a Sebastian?
Now I'd have no problem. I have no problem with a giant Sebastian head on the helmet.
Right here.
Absolutely.
Right
Oh
here.
yeah. And the face mask
Right?
is orange for the bill. Absolutely. Yes. I got no
No,
problem with
an
that.
actual bill. Put a bill. They
I don't know if that's not the regulations, but
I got
sure.
it.
They get peck at everybody.
How about every helmet we have a throwback uni with those orange and white stripes and Jimmy Johnson's hair? just have Jimmy Johnson's hair. Which, by the way, he was in Spaces and says he uses hairspray. In case you were wondering.
All right.
His
so
hair
what if
is
they-
so nice. I saw it in Spaces.
Yes. Yes. The Jimmy Johnson uni.
That's how legendary that hair is.
Amazing.
All right. Before we get into 5 questions and paying some bills, we got a huge baseball series this weekend.
Yes, we do.
The boys just rolled out FIU this evening. Like it was 15-0. So they are now on a 10-game winning streak, if I'm not mistaken. Number 3, Virginia, coming to the light this weekend. Canes are now at number 8. And this is just, they are rolling right now, boys. Gino's got them rolling.
I know, and go back just a little while ago. We were calling for Love Lady. I wasn't. I never said that.
Somebody was.
Yeah.
I might have said something.
And what a
Wasn't
great
me.
state of affairs for University of Miami athletics, especially the big 3 programs right now. Next, you get Mario Cristobal. You're spending money like, you just won the lottery. The football, you get to the Elite 8, and your baseball team's on a 10-game. Mr. Radakovich, that a boy. Must have came in with a stick. I'll beat your ass if you don't perform. Let's go. Good stuff. Hey, by the way, and I from my personal account, obviously paying attention to the baseball, and Canes baseball account showing some love back. I appreciate that, liking the tweets that I like. Yo-Yo, did you see Yo-Yo's play today?
I did.
That for people
That's one out of one out of half a
down
million.
the line, barehanded play, but it's the footwork. Because when you go left-right and you throw that kind of velocity on a left-right throw, elite. That thing.
It was stupid.
Like I'm not the awe and sports guy. Like I've seen many great things over the course of my lifetime. I mean, listen, I watched some of the greatest of all time. Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky. I've seen greatness. I'm not that guy to go, whoa, like that overreact guy. I was in my office like, whoa, that was dope. Great play, Yo-Yo. Great play.
All right, so what are the rules on this weekend? Because obviously,
2 out of 3.
expecting that you're going to sweep Virginia is just you can't put that sort of pressure. But all right, so 2 out of 3, or if you're competitive in all 3 games and it just doesn't bounce your way and you only win 1 out of 3, we're still not going to go all ape crap and like right. I mean, you gotta.
What are you 22-4? You're 22-4 right now. I mean, if you get swept, it's 22-7. You're still not bad. I don't think they're going to get swept, especially Carson Palmquist. Every time that guy touches the mound on a Friday night, too, I mean, he's just baffling everybody. He is so nasty, so filthy. So he gives you a shot every Friday night. No matter who they're pitching in return, he gives you a good shot. He gives you an absolute good shot. Rosario's back pitching strong on Sunday. He came back from maybe an injury. Maybe, arm was a little tired. Coming back, he's pitching phenomenal. Garland was throwing gasolina today. Mucho croquetas, left, right. You know what I'm talking about. Mucho croquetas. I don't know. Pitching staff's doing really well. 2 out of 3 would be epic.
Epic. It really would be, yeah.
Epic.
I don't just tell you what, you got to
I've
give
seen this.
the.
The problem is I've seen this too many times. I agree with you. 2 out of 3 would be epic. Entirely unlikely. Mm-hmm. So let's everybody just cool the jets.
Listen, but here's the thing.
They're lucky to get out of there with 1.
I agree with you.
Honestly, and I think the best chance is Friday. I don't think they're winning either one of the games on Saturday or Sunday.
And I hear you. They just came off a 10, and those Miami teams were like, you just lost to FIU in the midweek game, right? Or you just lost to FAU in the midweek. You had 2 midweek games. It was a rare thing for you. Florida Gulf Coast, you handled them again. You completely we scored more points tonight in a baseball game than high,
runs, bro.
Because I'm trying to.
No, they actually went for a 2-point conversion.
We
in
scored
the
more
fifth
points.
Inning, I believe.
We scored more. You're messing up the whole point of this. We scored more points in baseball today than we did when we played FIU in football.
Then we did runs when we played them in football.
When Jaron Williams.
I'm sorry. I have my TV on. When the fuck did Sting's wrestling again?
Sting's, I don't think he's ever stopped.
He's on AEW now?
Yeah.
Sting is hitting people with a baseball bat. Oh, this is phenomenal.
65.
Sting has been wrestling so
looks
long.
great.
Hold on.
It looks
I want to
great.
talk about something. I want to talk about something serious here for a second.
I know what you're going to talk about, but real
Jesus.
quick, Sting has been wrestling so long that's his face now.
That is.
That's not even face
He
paint.
hasn't. No. He hasn't seen sun in 14
Yeah,
years.
exactly.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead. Talk to me for the brand. Let's go.
Pat McAfee.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been so surprised and so impressed. You and your yo-yo throw, impressive. Pat McAfee in a wrestling ring blew my mind. Are you fucking kidding me?
Natural. Roy Hobbs did.
What on earth world are we living in that Pat McAfee is more natural in that ring than 98% of the dudes getting paid to do that on a daily basis? I've never seen anything like it.
Did you watch WrestleMania?
No. But I didn't have to.
Clip.
I saw all the clips. Absolutely. I know he doesn't listen to the show. We need to do a show with Pat McAfee. Bravo on something that was absolutely stunningly fucking brilliant. Brilliant.
Great choice of words. You said stunningly because he still got Stone Cold Stunner.
He did, and it was so good.
He spit the beer.
It was so damn good.
And then Stone Cold, for nostalgia purposes, Stone Cold stunned Vince McMahon.
The two of them basically fell out of the ring.
It was the most awful.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
From the best one to the worst. It was so disjointed.
People were showing the fabulous Moolah back when they threw her out there when she was like in her late 70s and she pushed someone and she fell backwards. They're like, that was Vince last night.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I mean, look, we all know when it's time.
Yeah.
And for nostalgia's sake, yes, it was. It was
Stone
cool.
Cold was moving slow too.
Oh, dude, he's 60.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and he's
on.
he's had some surgeries and neck issues, but that stunner on McAfee was legit.
It was epic,
and the sell on it was
Rock-esque.
What?
Rock-esque. Rock used to
But
sell that stunner
around. Yeah.
Rock used to sell that stunner like nobody's business.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That flip, I can't get over it. For anyone who hasn't seen it, if you see Pat McAfee do a backflip off
The top rope,
off the third turnbuckle,
it stood there like a G
and lands it like Simone Biles.
Good reference.
Just jumped off like, I don't know, a bench. That's how perfectly he landed this thing. He didn't even move. It was like the video was in reverse, and he was thrown up there, and then he goes and he jumps back up. Like, what the fuck is happening? I couldn't believe it. I honestly could not believe it. Go watch it. If you haven't seen it, go watch Pat McAfee flip backwards, not forwards, backwards.
So, I want to backtrack to something. Remember before we were talking about all those new uniforms? Like the wings on the side and the U on the back of the helmet?
Yeah.
Those would be great new uniforms, Toast. You just embrace it. Embrace the Praxic Fire. Embrace it.
Stop.
And you know who would sell those uniforms?
Stop.
You know who would sell them proudly?
I know exactly who would sell them.
Caneswear, Miami Fanwear. Caneswear, 2511 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. 954-835-5597. You know the deal. Free shipping on orders over $99. Brett, Kenny, and the boys, they will hook you up. Caneswear, proud supporter of X's and Row, student of the game. Check out those YouTube series. That brand is growing in perfect timing for the OBB Legend, which is going to release soon. Thank you, Caneswear.
There was one last thing before we were going to get into commercials. Wanted to throw props out to Luca to the U.
Yes.
And getting strength coach Feld to throw them a little promo down. For those of you curious, it is a 32-point charity climb at Stone Mountain happening on May 28th. You throw a backpack on with 32 pounds in it, and you do a 1 mile climb up and then back down. So if you guys want to get involved with that, just check out Luca to the U on Twitter, and they got all the information there. But it was very cool to see Coach Feld step up and give a nice, hyped up, call to action for everyone to go hit Stone Mountain with the crew on the, I guess that's Memorial Day weekend, May 28th, around there, it seems like. But go on up to Georgia, hit Stone Mountain, and do something good for Luca to the U.
Let's go.
Scoop, The Masters is today.
God dang it is.
So here's
It is
good
the
news
best
and bad
week
news.
in the golfing year.
It's good news and bad news because obviously now most of you listening, the first round's probably already underway. So that's phenomenal, but it sucks because you missed out on beating the bookies Masters package.
Well, we tweeted it
But
out yesterday.
If you're listening at this, we tweeted it out yesterday, but if you are listening to this at like 4 o'clock in the morning, you can go to beatingthebookie.com and still get that Masters package. Boom. So you can get some future bets in for round 1 winners.
You get the round 1 winners. He's going to have tournament winners. He's going to have a bunch of prop bets, I would imagine. His Masters package is incredibly deep as far as plays. He'll have matchups. He'll have 2-ball matchups. He'll have 3-ball matchups. He'll have eagle odds. He'll have scoring odds. I think, from what I saw, a tweet, there's a max play in this week's package, which for golf doesn't happen very often. So it is.
If you were Scoop, do you think Bookie is saying? Think he would say put money on Tiger to make the cut or not make the cut?
Ooh.
Or what would you say?
I think Tiger makes the cut. I think
you do.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, man, this is tough, and I couldn't be more excited to see him go out there and give it a go. My understanding, he's been playing a lot of 36-hole days over the last recent time frame.
Month.
But the only thing is he's playing him on pretty flat surfaces. But he still is getting the walking in. I think the biggest issue is going to be the fact that he has to walk Augusta, which is the most undulous course on tour. You watch it on TV, you can't understand the degree of slope and steepness of those hills. And that's going to be the big thing. Can he? I don't think it's not the swing. It's certainly not the short game. He's not going to play if he doesn't think he's got a chance to win. I think what he believes he can utilize is his experience, his talent around the greens, understanding the nuances at Augusta, and putting himself in the position of where to miss. Understanding that you can shoot 69, you can shoot 68, you can shoot a 70. You can do that for 3 days and have a shot, right? Or 4 days and have a shot. If you're 2 under, if you're 3 under for 4 days, you're 12 under. 12 under.
Well, there's going to be weather the first 2 days,
which means it's going to soften up. I think the numbers are. I think they're going to go lower. So I think that it's certainly going to be 12 plus under that's going to win it. 2 years ago, DJ shot 20 under. Hideki last year won it at 10. But last year's tournament wasn't very well played by the field. The year before that was, trying to think who won it the year before that. Tiger won it the year before that, 19. 20, they didn't play it. And then Tiger won it at 19 at 13. So, yeah, I think he makes the cut. I think he makes a showing. I think he's in the middle of the pack probably. If his leg holds up, I think he's got a decent chance to make it in the top 20. We'll see. Look, it's going to be chilly. Is that going to affect him? I'd love to see him make the weekend. It'll be a Masters. I'd say it'll be Masters like no other, but like 3 years ago when he ended up winning it.
We've also got opening day happening. Being the Bookie's got 3 Major League Baseball max plays that have dropped, and he's been all over the Panthers, man. And if you missed the last couple comebacks they've had, especially against the Leafs, down 5-1, and then winning that thing 7-6 the other night, phenomenal stuff. And the good news is with the hockey, you want to jump on that and make money on that, you go to DraftKings, download the Sportsbook app right now, use promo code TPPN, throw down $5 on UFC 273, and get $100 in free bets no matter what. That's code TPPN this Saturday at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. 21 and over, restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
And admit it.
All right, boys. So, yeah, and listen, for you, the audience, we saw a couple of reviews. And listen, we had talked about this beforehand. Obviously you want to monetize a podcast. And, there was a few episodes when all these folks came in, like in January, where it turned into a little bit of an infomercial for about 15, 20 minutes at one point in time. We've kind of fixed that. We got a few spots in the beginning. We threw a few spots in the middle right here before 5 questions. And then there you go. But we think that, for the hour and 20 minutes of content you're getting,
get over it.
Spots.
You're fine.
5 minutes of spots ain't too bad.
You know what you need to do? Just relax. Go to Publix, Total Wine, get some La Loca, get some Frank the Tank, bro. Come on, relax.
Seriously.
Forget about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do 5 questions. What do you say? You ready for this, Ro?
5 questions.
I'm ready.
Yeah, baby. 5 questions.
5 questions.
All right, question number 1. Playing off of our Masters. If Tiger were to win the Masters, where would that rank amongst all-time great sports comebacks?
Man, I would have to put it 2.
Behind?
I'd have to put it 3. I just thought of another one. I think
behind what?
I think Ben Hogan would probably be number 1.
Okay.
I think Rick Ankiel is number 2.
Oh, wow.
I think what Rick Ankiel did is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in sports. You can't. How does? It's practically impossible for you to make the bigs. Just in general. Numbers will tell you that. Practically impossible. The guy makes the bigs, is an all-star pitcher. Forgets how to pitch. The dude was throwing into the 4th row. They're like, Carter, no, sorry, no good. 2 years later, he's back in the bigs as an outfielder who can hit.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I mean, and that's not off an injury, but that's a comeback nonetheless. I still can't get over that whole thing.
You know what's like comeback performance for me? Like was always just awe-inspiring because just the nature of the sport. It was way before he had a grill named after him was George Foreman. Like, he was like 45 when he won his like world championship when he knocked out like Michael Moore. Like, what? You were 45, bro. That's like a Rocky movie. The good one, like the good ones, not the bad one when I'm actually describing what George Foreman did and Rocky tried to do it. Like, crazy. Crazy to be that old.
Do you remember how huge of a celebrity he was at that time? And he was everywhere. Because he was so personable and happy. And he was on every talk show. Like, dude, he was endorsing everything. That dude made so much money.
George Foreman grill. Everybody had a George Foreman grill. Are you kidding me?
I did.
Yeah.
I still don't understand. I mean, that's gonna be the dumbest thing. Why would you name all your kids George?
Yeah, he's got like 7.
7 boys.
Yeah.
They're all named George.
Listen.
And isn't the girl like Georgina or something?
Stupid.
He was repeatedly hit in the head, Scoop.
It's just so dumb.
You know.
Somebody's got to tell him that's a bad idea.
Yeah, the wife let him do it.
Yep. Man. I love your Rick Ankiel pick, Scoop. I was going to say that this would be number 1 only because I can't go with what I always said was number 1. For me, number 1 was always Lance Armstrong, just coming, but he cheated, so it's like
not the same.
I mean, even though he cheated, I think it was still a pretty damn impressive. Sure.
Well, everybody else.
I'm not even going to say what I was going to say.
He had cancer that had spread to his brain for crying out loud. You know, I mean, like, yeah.
I'm not going to say it.
For a man, the same thing.
But yeah, I think this Tiger. I mean, 14 months after they thought they were going to cut off his leg.
I think does third it.
What did you say? What did you say?
Oh, nothing.
I'm going to go back and hear it.
God.
You will.
Okay.
He's going to start writing down the time. Just back it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. No, I got it. I know. It's about 15
a little beep.
Yeah, I already know. I already know.
Oh,
Just a little slick comment, that's all.
All right. Question number 2. What fictional character would be the worst roommate?
Darth Vader. Like, shut up, bro. Like, walking around with a walking CPAP the whole time. Like, gotta listen to him the whole time. No thanks. Can you take out the trash?
I got a better answer than that. No, I don't think. Yeah. I'm going with Hulk. You're never getting your deposit back. Like that place is going to be trash. Like Hulk. Like there's going to be fists through walls. Like Hulk would be the worst roommate. Everything's broken.
Wow, look at us. We just went 2 Marvel characters. Oh, did you see my wink?
All right, Scoop, what you
Not
got?
that dumb. I'd say SpongeBob. He seems like an awful roommate.
You could use him to wash the dishes,
Awful
though.
voice.
Yeah.
Come here, Bobby.
I mean, I
some
was gonna
Palmolive
say
out there on you?
say Hillary Clinton, but
Oh
Always
my God.
Always classic.
All right. Without saying your name, what is your name?
I don't get the reference.
no.
I don't get that. What are you, a
It's
dolphin?
freaky.
Oh, you're right.
Jesus.
This reminds me of
Mine's easy. All right, ready? Lou Gaines.
Ah.
when he's so he started sounding like a dolphin. It reminded me of a joke. Hey, tell us what's the fastest way to turn your wife into a dolphin?
What?
Try to go in the back door. All right. We digress. I think if I just simply walk up to him and like, can I be frank with you? Because that's all I can ever be.
Saying your name.
I can never be. He says.
Because that's all I can ever be.
Question number 4. Without saying its name, what is your favorite game?
Ooh.
Favorite game? Like what type of game? What type of game? A lot of different types
Whatever
of
type
games.
of game you want to, whatever type of game you want to go with. Could be a board game. Could be anything. Video game.
Mine would simply be, it is dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Is that Zelda?
Of course. Yeah.
Oh man. I don't know.
Mine's easy. They don't make it anymore. NCAA football.
Okay. Well, they do. It's coming back.
Well, they're going to. They're going to. It's coming back, but it hasn't dropped yet.
Oh man, it's a good reference. Hold on, I gotta think of what he says. I can't exactly think of what he says. This was my favorite game back in the day. What's he saying about go answer the door? Go answer the door. Is it the little? Oh, I can't say it. I'm not allowed to say it on here. Well, I got cancel culture. For fuck's sake. It's from.
I could bleep it out. We're not
Okay,
streaming.
bleep it out. Is it?
Bleep it out.
The guy's delivering the pizza, and he's asking if it's a little. It's from Swingers, and they're sitting there playing '93 NHL, and they had pizza delivered, and they're all in the room, and the guy's at the door, and one of them won't go get the door. He wants him to go get the door because he's hungry and he wants his pizza. Anyway, it's a brilliant scene. That was a great
It's a
game.
long walk. It was a
The
long walk
wraparound
to
would
get
score
to
every
NHL
time.
93.
You know that, right? You just
Absolutely.
wrap around and just
Such a
score.
great. That was a great game. Make his head bleed.
28-2 in the
Oh, you made his
first
head
period.
bleed. That's in it too. Oh, you made his head bleed,
Listen,
Mike. You made his
93.
head bleed.
That might have been the last. 93. I think it was the last year that the Whalers were part of that game.
The whale.
The Whale.
Oh, whale.
All right, final question. You're a burglar that breaks into homes and causes mild inconveniences. What inconveniences are you causing?
You guys already know the answer for this, and I'll say it every time you ask a question this way.
Okay.
He's going to rearrange our phone apps.
That's correct.
Oh God.
I will. I will find every phone and rearrange all the apps.
I'm going to do two things.
What are you
in
gonna do?
Scoot's house. Just
Yeah.
two. I'm going to steal his ice machine.
That's
And I'm gonna
that.
put-
See, that's there's repercussions for that though.
But that's a mild inconvenience.
Got some right
And
here.
I'm going to put one singular rat in his attic.
That's old school,
That is
bro.
old school.
That is old
Yeah.
school OBB
Go
episodes.
get the peanut butter.
Man.
You know, and I'll bring this up now. You know, that I ended up having a mouse after that. This
Yeah, I
was
think
like
we remember.
this was like 6 months ago. I don't think I. Yeah, it's just like recent. A mouse.
Okay.
I don't know. He got too in the little machine.
I'll bleep that out too, or else you're going to get canceled by PETA.
What are you talking about? They make the zappers.
Yeah,
They put peanut butter in there. They go in there and bzz.
Yeah.
It's very it's
they make
humane.
them
It's
for
quick.
flies
It's
and
instant.
mosquitoes. They don't make them for cute mice.
If
Brought to you by
you're mice, rats, whatever.
That out too.
You got a lot of editing of it.
Yeah. There's a lot of these last 5 minutes of this pod going to be a lot of choppiness. I am going to break into homes, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to steal your toothbrushes.
I don't think some people would even notice.
Oh my god,
That's
that is
disturbing.
I know.
there's
That's
something wrong with that.
disturbing.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I
All
like
right,
that.
That's 5 questions.
Questions.
All that's left to do is name this bad boy, bad boys.
Are we sure? That's all that's left to do?
Oh, what else we got? What else have we got to do? That's all that's on my show sheet.
Nothing.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, we're not going to do an announcement?
Okay.
So, question for you. Why wouldn't we announce these things on our podcast where it benefits us instead of just giving it away on Twitter?
I'm happy to announce it. You want to announce it?
Well, now it's too late. It's like an hour and 23 minutes into the podcast.
Well, splice it and put it back in the beginning.
No, there's no splicing. There's enough editing. I'm not splicing. Oh, splicing, yeah. Because this will naturally fit somewhere else
There's
earlier
going
in
to
the
be a
podcast.
major announcement. We have a really cool segment that we're going to be featuring in the season.
We've said that. They know that. Tonight was supposed to be the night we were going to tell them what
I
it
didn't
was.
know that.
Because he's going to be on
He
next
is.
week.
He'll be on next week. As I'm gonna announce it now, and you can find somewhere to put it. Put it
All
somewhere.
right. It's going to be right here. It's going to be
Is
put
it?
right here at
Yes.
the end.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait.
This is where it's
And-
going to
and
be.
you-
I'm going to add a little drum roll. I'll add a little
to the
drum roll
beginning
behind
and
it.
go back to the beginning. Like, wait to the end of the episode because you're
Yeah.
going to have a major announcement from the OBB.
It's a great tease. You made him sit through the entire thing.
We put the tease
that
earlier.
how it works?
They're here. If you're still here, you deserve to hear
That's how
it.
it works.
All right.
And then we'll
All
put
right,
it on
I'm going to
Twitter.
hit the drum roll.
Okay.
I'm going to hit a drum
Do it.
roll. All right. Drum roll's going. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh wait, we can't say that. Disney won't let you say that anymore.
Just, hey,
Hey everyone. Boys and girls. That's not allowed either.
You can't say that either, no.
You can say it on this, though.
Oh, we're not owned by
Yeah.
Disney?
No.
Okay.
Nor will we ever
yet.
be.
Well, hey, if they come knocking, we'll have that phone call.
I can go without saying genders.
My name is no longer.
There's enough zeros on that checks. I got
my
no issue.
My name is no longer Roman. I'm Rothe.
Rothe.
Okay.
Hey, that's it. Rothe.
Yeah.
I am Rothe.
Rothe.
Go ahead,
Rothe.
Scoop. Floor is yours.
The floor is out. It's ours. No, honestly, guys and girls, ladies and gents, boys and girls, whatever. What'd you used to say?
Children of all ages. D-Generation
No.
X is proud to present
Bitches and boys. Listen up. We have a new segment next week. Wednesday night is the first night. He's been on the show before, but this is going to be a season-long segment where this gentleman is going to come on during the week, on our During the Week show, not the recap show, the During the Week show.
Recap show.
And he's going to recap with us the previous game, and he's going to preview with us the following game. We're going to do this next week before the spring game, and then when he's going to come back on with us after the spring game and do a recap for that. And then he's going to be on with us every single week during the season. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have your starting safety, Avante Neo Williams.
Woo!
Every week.
Woo!
Nice. What are we
I don't know
calling
yet.
But we're creative.
But we threw some stuff out. We had some ideas. Taste takes. Taste take. That's what it was. Taste takeaways. Taste takeaway. Now I don't know. Now I think it might maybe something with Neo.
In the Matrix.
I do have a mission though. My mission, our mission, the OBB's mission, is to make Neo a legitimate nickname for him.
Okay.
I want that to be the case. I want everyone to start referring to Tay as Neo.
He did another one in practice too.
He did another one. Yeah, see, he did it again.
That's right.
He did it again.
I couldn't be more excited. This is an inside, because we do our recap. We love doing our recap. We're going to have somebody who's on the field for the games give us a little bit more insight, maybe a little bit more behind the scenes on what's going on for the game, how the prep was, how the game plan went based on blah, 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 blah. I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked. It's going to be an NIL deal. So we will have Tay, and then we have a couple others that we have to wrap up. So very excited about it. He was brilliant on the show with us, and we couldn't be happier to have him a part of the team for the 2022 season.
Let's go, Neo.
There you go, baby. We keep cooking. Keep cooking. All right. Every week with Tay, that's going to be freaking phenomenal. So much fun. Brilliant move. Brilliant move.
We got to do like an announcement.
Let's...
Avante Williams.
Neo.
Nice. All right. What are we naming this thing?
Neo. Hold on.
Nothing comes to mind off the top of my head.
Brains and balls.
Works just fine.
It's the same.
It's the same.
Brains and balls.
See.
All right. Reminder, after you listen to us tomorrow, you'll be able to check out the drop of the Forwards Up podcast with Marsh and Jordan. And I'm guessing we are also going to be having a OBB recruiting pod with Gio dropping shortly. Do you want to make an announcement about that Marsh pod there, Roman?
I do, because I do happen to know there is a special guest tomorrow on the Fours Up podcast. Since we are kind of like OBB branding and we're kind of like NCIS, so like I'm actually hopping on the Fours Up podcast tomorrow with the boys.
Yeah, I think Gio is also.
Check us out.
Good stuff. There you go. So that'll drop tomorrow. Enjoy it, boys and girls. As always,
Go Canes!
bang.
That's another episode in the books. The Orange Bowl Boys are brought to you by Ed Morse Automotive Group. Visit edmorse.com.